High. 20 walks, third most in the American. And he walks him. Here's the Boston defense. And he swung on and missed it. Grossman's into second base with a stolen base. The 1-1. On the ground, wide to third. Nice play by Marwin Gonzalez. And they throw out Cabrera. Sharply hit. Nice backhand play. Bogart's long throw. In time to get Jonathan Scope. With 9 and 26 respectively, he bats third. Bobby Dahlbeck at the bottom of the order is in an 0 for 16 slump. We don't wish anything bad on anybody, but we're hoping that kind of continues. Yeah, right.
Michael Fulmer on the mound for the Tigers. He's getting the start. How long can he go? Fastball's ticked up about 2 miles per hour over last year. Slider's very good. Last year's the opponents hit 425 off his fastball. This year only 176. So he's throwing the ball much better coming off those injuries. And he gets the start. He's done very well first time through the order. So I don't know that he'll be here much past that. But everybody who pitches for the Tigers tonight's got to do a good job and give the offense a chance to surprise the Red Sox tonight.
Facing Enrique Hernandez, or Kike Hernandez, as he's called, 2-2 as he goes fishing. Hernandez signed a 2-year, $14 million deal with Boston in January. Came from the Dodgers, where he helped them win a world championship a year ago.
Who play anywhere.
Yep.
Like so many players nowadays, huh?
Playing in center field for the Red Sox here tonight. Here's the 2-2 upstairs.
Players play infield, outfield, pitch. They're comfortable catching. They don't have a third catcher.
Oh, barely missed. Michael Fulmer thought he struck him out. Where was that?
I think it was a little off right there. Michael Fulmer, 1-1, 20 strikeouts. That's his 7th walk. Opponent's only hitting 203, and let's take a look at this last pitch right here. I think it was a couple inches off.
This looks pretty good pitch. Pretty good pitch. Look, he thought he had him.
Good eye.
So like Detroit, Boston has the leadoff man on. A swing and a miss from Alex Verdugo. His first career game against the Tigers, and he has been really good for Boston. Hard part for Verdugo when he first got to Boston is everybody compared him to Mookie Betts because he came from LA in the Mookie Betts and David Price deal. Well, that's unfair to try and compare him to Betts, but he's been solid, Gibby. Batting .306, 13 runs driven in, and really good a year ago against breaking balls. So you got to be careful here against Verdugo. The 0-1. Good pitch to make it 0-2.
Not in a bad spot. Number 2 in the Boston Red Sox order, right in front of JD Martinez. Xander Bogaerts behind him. So at number 2 spot, you got to be able to handle the bat. You want to be able to put guys in motion, and he can cover them. You got to watch it here. Boston may try and get Hernandez on the move. Want to have a team that can hit it out of the park, steal, manufacture runs, and then on the other side of the ball, stop the teams from getting the runs.
Well, Boston can score runs. They lead the American League in runs scored.
Second in average, second in OPS. Say the runs, middle of the pack there in home runs. Detroit, on the other hand, is struggling on the other end of it, but continue to push forward, try and get better. Gets frustrating and a lot of pressure from everybody that supports the Tigers. They get a little frustrated, and that's something that baseball will do to you. You got to stay true.
Another 0-2. Low and away. Alex Cora along the bench for the Red Sox.
It went nose, shoulder, hat, nose, shoulder. So when you're a manager on the other team, you're watching the opposing manager give every sign to his third base coach, as you just saw him give. If you can, now the good ones will hide on you. You just try and memorize what's going on.
There's the 1-2. Right back to Fulmer. Could be two. Oh, he threw it into center field. Hernandez all the way to third. Boston has runners at the corners and nobody down.
I think Michael misjudged how quickly Kiki Hernandez was going to get down there. Then he saw it and he turned it. He had to throw a bullet. See his arm, he didn't get his feet around. That hurts. Knew it right away. Didn't get his feet around. Damage control right here. Just keep him out of the big inning.
Against one of the most dangerous hitters in the American League. A first pitch strike to JD Martinez.
Get yourself out of it, Michael. Get a strikeout here, a double play.
The 0-1. Up high.
Good try. Top of the zone, up and in. JD held up. When you get into a game and you got guys on base in the first inning, Shep, you're going to see the best of everything they got. You know they're going to try and stop any runs from crossing that plate. Michael's going to throw the kitchen sink at JD.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
That's a nasty slider. Look at this pitch. It's down. Watch how it just breaks real late with depth. Right at the bottom.
You expect that again here then?
I'd
double it up?
I would throw up and in 2 times, then go with the slider at the end. But I'm sitting in this booth.
Laid off that one. You saw the 9 homers by JD Martinez. That leads the majors. Well, his RBIs of 26 do as well. Also leads the majors in total bases and doubles.
Having another good year. He's very solid hitting.
Struggled a year ago, but he has made up for it this season early on. 2-2. Sharply hit. Could be 2. The turn. Not in time. Martinez gets down there. Run scores. It's 1-0 Boston.
Had a chance at the double play. That I believe. JD beat it out, but you would hope that you would turn that with JD running. Possible challenge. Watch. Got him.
Looks like the Tigers will challenge this.
What it looks like. Let me try and slow it down for you. That It's pretty close.
Yeah, the question is,
Was it in his glove?
is it enough to overturn?
JD kind of took a jump there. It's worth challenging for sure.
Quick decision. They call him safe. It's confirmed.
Yeah, they're not. It was not in the glove yet. Hernandez comes in to score.
Run home. Man down, man on for Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts riding a 3-game hitting streak, but it's been a lot better than that as of late. He's got really good numbers against Fulmer, as you see, but over his last 24 games, he's batting close to 400. Started a little slow, just like Boston did as a team. But he has caught fire. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. There's that good-looking slider from Michael Fulmer.
A lot of them here.
Slider usage at a career high percentage for Michael Fulmer. The 0-2 reaches out. He pokes it to right for a base hit.
Pretty good hitting there. Just looking out for the slider. Looks like he gets it. Just serves it over the second base position. First and second, 2 down.
That's why that guy leads the American League in hits. That's his 38th base hit on the season. A few more than his teammate JD Martinez, and here's Christian Vasquez. First pitch strike to him. The 0-1 lifted to right. Is it playable for Victor Reyes? Nope, it's not. Speaking of Victor Reyes, here's the Tigers defense. He's in right, Jacoby Jones in center, Robbie Grossman in left. Candelario, Goodrum, Willie Castro, and Jonathan Scope on the infield, and Wilson Ramos is catching Michael Fulmer and the bullpen tonight.
Red Sox have seen a lot of sliders. They understand that it's a good pitch for Michael right now. Going to continue to guard against it. But if you leave one over the middle of the plate, they may square it up.
Here's the 0-2. Might surprise some people that Vasquez, along with JT Realmuto and Yasmani Grandal, are the only 3 catchers with 700 plate appearances in the previous 2 years before 2020 because it's a shortened season. But 18 and 19, just only 3 catchers, and he's one of them. There's the 1-2 outside, 2-2. Surprising because his name doesn't come quickly to mind when you think of everyday catchers, maybe outside of Boston.
Steady, solid. Look at Michael right here. Is a couple hitters in a row he's gotten ahead with 2 strikes and missed to bring the count back to even.
2-2. And that's a bullet to center. Jacoby Jones has it. J.D. Martinez rumbles home, and the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead thanks to the RBI single from Christian Vasquez.
Not turning that double play.
Yep.
Turns out to be, looks like a little split right there. Didn't do much. Boston with a good middle approach. Only pulled 1 ball. That was JD.
And here's the thing, you've been mentioning it almost at every batter. Michael Fulmer's getting ahead of these batters.
But he's nibbling after that. I'd like to see attack. Boston is a very good team. They're tough to get out, as you see here in the first. Didn't take him long to look, see what he's throwing, and make an adjustment to try and take that away.
Yeah, they have rebounded quite nicely. This is a team a year ago, folks, that was 24 up and 36 down. Worst winning percentage since 1965 in Boston. When you talk to folks, again, shortened season in 2020, but when you say who was the worst team in the AL East last year, many people jumped to Baltimore, but it was Boston that was in last place in the East.
On top this year.
On top this year.
25 pitches for Michael.
Marwin Gonzalez 3 for 6 in his career against Fulmer. The 2-0.
Yanking several of his pitches. Could be an overthrow, could be just a different motion. Don't know that they're going to go too far with Michael Fulmer with all these pitches in the first inning.
Alex Lang is starting to warm up for the Tigers. A.J. Hinch told us it would be a bullpen day today. As Gibby had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is Matthew Boyd's scheduled start. But Boyd with the left knee tendonitis missing this start. A.J. Hinch did say he expects him to pitch in the series wrap-up against Minnesota on Sunday. It would be Skubal, Urania, and then Boyd against the Twins as we speak now. Here's the 3-1. A line drive to center field, and the hits keep coming for the Red Sox. Bogarts trots home with their 3rd run. It's 3-0 Boston.
Another one right up the middle. Is that 3? And the second hitter of the game hit one right up the middle. Michael Fulmer threw it away. That's just good discipline hitting. Stay square to the ball. Don't roll it over. Don't chicken wing it. Solid base hit.
Here's Christian Arroyo. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more on your Detroit Tigers. That's the MLB app today. 3 hits in the inning for Boston, a walk and an error. This one lifted to center field. Jacoby Jones gets behind it, and the runners hold. 2 away. Eighth batter of the inning, and it's Hunter Renfroe.
You sit inside, you plan it, you had an off day, got good plans, and all out the window in one quick inning. It's always about stopping more than you've already given up. Getting on offense, get Michael Fulmer sitting down.
32nd pitch of the inning from Fulmer is fouled away.
I'm going to guess he's going to be done. But Boston's got all but 2 right-handed hitters.
Marwin Gonzalez is a switch.
Yeah. And Verdugo's left.
The 0-1. A line drive just past Jonathan Scope. Another run is going to come home for Boston. Vasquez scores 4-0 Red Sox.
That's it. Hanging slider out over the plate. They've seen that prior to the game today. Just out of the reach.
4 hits, 4 runs for Boston. Alex Lang coming in to try and finish off the first.
They'll know it.
He was good last time out Saturday against the Yankees in New York, facing Bobby Dahlbeck with 2 away and 2 men aboard here in the first. Lang against the Yankees gave up just 1 hit, struck out a couple, and 1 1/3 in that 6-4 setback in the Bronx. The 0-1 lifts it to right field. Reyes on a trot into the stands. Couldn't make the catch. Did that lady catch it?
Yeah, I don't think she interfered. I think it caught her.
Yeah,
it's in the stands, so the little boy doesn't know what's going on. Give him that baseball. Get a sign.
Yeah. He just wants a hot dog right now. Let's see what she caught it in the. Is that in a blanket or a jacket or
he
something?
Had it. Take the. He should have ripped that blanket out of it and laid down.
That's a nice catch by her, isn't it?
The glove is illegal. The blanket.
How about that? Now the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Alex Lang finishes off the Red Sox here in the first, but not before they score 4 times. And a mom gets Mom of the Year. Early Mother's Day present, huh?
Picture on the right. His numbers, right-handed hitter, it's close to 100 points higher in his career. So, the first thing you say is, should he remain a right-handed hitter? It's just not that easy. He's always been a switch hitter, but he's a better hitter right-handed. From that one we picked out right there, I thought the path was shorter, it was more direct, and he does have more power left-handed, though.
Yeah, how much do you think that factors in?
Well, I don't really know, but he just stays on the ball more right-handed, I think. And you know, I did a comparison to some other players around the league just to try and see how he stacks up. Nico struggles a little bit on off-speed pitches. Here we're looking at side swings. The one on the left is right-handed. The one on the right is left-handed. You just look. He's just more directly on the picture on the left. Just a little quicker. I mean, it looks pretty much the same, but numbers don't lie. Over a career, he's in better position to hit the ball right-handed, more so than he is left-handed. And like I said, the off-speed pitches he's struggled against. So how could we get him so he'd be a little more consistent with off-speed? His average would be much higher. I think Nico really stresses on swinging the bat. It's been a real conversation piece all year. There he gets the high pitch called against him, and it's a vicious cycle when you're trying to correct something and you see that ball got by him really quick underneath, and he'll have to go back to work. But he seems like a very motivated young man to me, Shep. You know, he worked very hard. Sometimes you think too much about it, and it becomes very tough to advance. But he is trying to change, and I think my thought is, if he went righty-righty, has he ever done it in BP? Would he hit better versus lefties and righties? Could that spread shrink? He's very athletic. He can run when he gets on base. He's just, if you look at his strikeout percentage, his walk percentage, it's basically the same his whole career.
Base hit for Wilson Ramos right up the middle.
That's another good approach. We're seeing Boston did it 4 times in a row up the middle, didn't try and pull it. Willie Ramos right up the middle. Boston not in the shift, as you can see. Tigers got a runner.
For Willie Castro. Castro had Sunday in New York off, so his last start was Saturday against the Yankees and went 0 for 4 with a walk. Trying to snap out of an 0 for 13 skid. Looks at ball 1. Castro dealing with a ton early in this season.
He is. He got pulled off a shortstop.
Yeah.
Playing second base now, that messes with your head. When you don't hit, it affects your fielding.
Low and inside 2-0 to him.
Boy, it's going to be something off speed. I think Willie Castro right here could hit a ball. If he gets it out over the plate, he can hit it off the wall in left center field.
The 2-0. And a little looper to right center field. It's going to drop.
That's a knock.
Back-to-back knocks with one out here in the second.
So, talking about Nico, like, if you want to try and change some things, like I said, it's very hard to do because we become what we are over time, and his numbers pretty much are the same. So how do you do it? They got it, according to me. You got to recognize what you're not doing. Be honest about what you feel. Got to come up with a new picture. You get this bad picture. You know, I'm struggling. All you can think about is your struggles and stuff. You got to implement your new ideas with a new picture, and then you got to stay true to the new. Now, you don't get this from anybody. I mean, this is a long process, and a lot of visualization, I believe, and you've got to stay true to do it, and you got to do it in small bits.
Got to be committed to it.
You got to do it in small bits and pieces during the season. Now, if it was spring training or it was the off season, it'd be totally different. You go crazy, you just blow it up. But I know Nico's been pressing. He wasn't playing shortstop early. That upset him. And he's been trying to play much better. But it's just been a lot going on with this Tiger team. They have not been winning games. Everybody's trying to do too much.
Well, it's not just Nico Goodrum, though, Kimmy. I mean, there's a lot of guys who are struggling. You're saying that type of recipe, your suggestions could be used basically throughout the lineup. It's 1 and 2 to Jacoby Jones.
I'm saying guys that have established who they are.
And he strikes out with a foul tip into the glove of Vasquez, 2 away. Hey fans, if Detroit scores 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries.
Now, the Tigers, some struggle against off-speed pitches, okay? Like, you have to make an adjustment to do that. How does that happen, okay? Like, I only know how it happened to me. I saw Lance Parrish last week, who played golf. Don't play golf with him, by the way. He's tough. But just honestly thinking, what did we do? What made us get it? And I've said before, Richie Hebner said something to me one day, and it just stuck to me. You can't just go.
What did he say?
On the breaking balls, he just said, if you get that lefty on lefty, if you know you're going to miss it, if you feel yourself missing it, look really bad, because they're reading you. They're reading, oh, he's not even close to that. The catcher's reading you. And then wait for the next one, Jack. Meaning if you see that one coming out at your shoulder, you got to wait for it, and you're going to get it. And that's kind of why I became not a guess hitter, but a guy who really worked on recognizing the breaking ball. But you got to let it come to you.
The 1-1, and that's through for a base hit. Ramos is going to try and score, and he's going to slide in there safely. And the Tigers are on the board thanks to the 2-out RBI single from Victor Reyes.
That a boy. Picked him. Shep's over there smiling. Nice hanger. Victor does a good job. Again, using the middle of the diamond. There's a big hole there, and the Red Sox are playing away from the middle because they see the Tigers pull the ball a lot. And Willie Ramos with a good route around the bases. Now, this is the final thing on the whole hitting thing. Is if you only hit fastballs and not curveballs or not sliders, you're never really going to get over the hump because you're going to see all the pitches, right? So it just makes sense. We hit a lot of pitches off breaking ball machine and arms with breaking ball, but once you feel it, you're on your way. I'm not trying to make it sound easy, okay? I'm not getting on anybody. I'm just, you got to be determined, and you got to find a way to get a picture, and when you see it, recognize it, and feel the wealth that comes from it.
Up high to Robbie Grossman, 1-1. Grossman walked in the first. You saw that good-looking footnote on Grossman, one of 6 hitters with more walks than hits. 21 walks, 18 hits for Grossman. And one of just 3 in the American League. The other 2 in the American League, Joey Gallo of Texas and Dylan Moore of Seattle.
So you got a 1-1 count. Comfortable with hitting with 2 strikes. Got it. Runner on first. Got a hole over that first. Nice slider down and in. You hit a bullet. You get another run. Got to search it out.
The 1-1.
The
left side, he beats the shift, and another run's home for the Tigers. Willie Castro is home. Reyes takes third, and Robbie Grossman comes through in the clutch to make it 4-2 Boston.
Tigers running on the pitch. Robbie Grossman shoots it through the hole there. See, Victor is on his way. On to third. Peek, that's good technique. Good peek there. Always good to get dirty, huh? Yeah. Did you like to play in the dirt when you were a youngster?
Yeah.
I still do.
Splashing in puddles? Oh, I know you do.
And I get it from my wife. You're dirty. You're bringing dirt in the house. I used to hear that from my mom.
And then I hear you say, I know, I'll do the laundry. No, you won't.
No.
2 away for
She wanted to
Jamer
hear it.
Candelario. I think the response is, that'll be the day.
That'll be the day.
Pitch count rising for Pivetta. Single from Ramos, Willie Castro, Victor Reyes, and Robbie Grossman has produced a couple of runs for Detroit here in the second. It's been a while since they've had this productive of an inning.
Good approach.
Candelario sprays it foul.
Candy, he can go off that monster. Not very far out there in left field.
Does have 13 hits the opposite way, and that is 4th most in the majors.
It's fun to take batting practice at Fenway Park.
The 0-1, another one fouled in the same spot. Candelario struck out swinging back in the first.
Going fastballs to Candy this time.
The 0-2 on the ground to first. It'll be handled by Dahlbeck, but the Tigers do collect 4 singles and a couple of runs to get on the board. RBI singles from Victor Reyes and Robbie Grossman. And Detroit is within 2 in game number 1 on the road in Boston on Bally Sports. And Martinez. And a first pitch strike to Enrique Hernandez, who walked and scored in the first.
Kiki.
The 0-1 on the ground is short for Nico Goodrum. Easy does it, one
Nice.
away.
Probably hear a little extra chatter today on your screen coming from your set. They have little extra speakers all around Fenway Park, some in the bases.
Speakers.
So watch what you're saying.
Or microphones. Yeah. Our crew has carefully placed them at different places around the infield.
One
so
of them
you're
is
gonna
right
hear,
next to Shep.
You're going to hear them a little bit clearer, and you'll hear the grinding of the dirt and the sliding into the bag. It is something else. It's tough to see that microphone there, but you might be able to catch it. It's on the outside of that bag on the right side. You see that little black right there? That's the microphone. Low and away. Verdugo was safe on the Michael Fulmer error in the first. Fulmer had a chance to get a double play and threw it into center field. Kind of opened the gates a little bit for a rough first inning for Detroit. They bounced back with 2 in the second. The 2-0 from Lang in the dirt. Casey Mize gets the start tomorrow. Had a chat with him before the game today, asking him about, among other things, this Boston lineup and the 7, 8, 9 hitters that have posed a problem for Casey Mize this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that during our broadcast on Bally Sports tomorrow. The 3-0 right down the middle.
It's down Woodward, isn't it? They call that down Woodward Avenue.
Woodward, you can do that. What's your frequently traveled roadway in Metro Detroit? You want to go Telegraph? You want to go to the Lodge? I've tried to catch up to you on the Lodge.
Coyote Road.
What fairway is your favorite? Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss.
Good action there.
Really good action.
Looks like you turned that one over 89 miles an hour. Was that maybe a backup slider? Everybody's got to be ready. Make a good play.
The payoff. Deep to left. That ball is gone. Verdugo with his 4th homer of the season. And the Red Sox get one of the 2 Detroit scored in the second. Right back with the solo homer.
352 feet. Just waited, just dropped the barrel. Ball was right up the middle of the plate. You see right into his sweet spot.
Just can't make those types of mistakes to these types of hitters. And then you get, what is that, the laundry cart? And you get a little ride. And you celebrate a little more. Here's J.D. Martinez.
They have all kind of celebrations in the game. Laundry cart. Sometimes after the game they give you showers, you know.
Well,
some really cold ones sometimes.
I think my favorite was 2 years ago when you saw Adam Eaton and Howie Kendrick. You remember that? That one's yanked foul. When they, after a big run, they would get in the dugout for Washington and pretend like they're shifting gears in a race car. That's probably my favorite. Very creative, fun. Two guys taking part of it, 2 buddies.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been critical about, they feel like people are showing each other up, but I don't really look at it that way. Just showing some emotion, having fun.
Showing some personality. Here's the 1-1 to Martinez.
And they've been doing celebrations for forever.
Yeah. And of course, Adam Eaton now in Chicago, and Howie Kendrick retired before the season. So congratulations to him on a fine career. 2-1 to J.D. Martinez. And that's on a line to center for a hit.
Got to get that ball down. Look at the Red Sox. They have real good approach. They're very patient. Daniel Norris warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, you really respect and appreciate their approach with the at-bats. I mean, they're using the middle of the field the opposite way. I mean, this is exactly what you and Craig Monroe talk a lot about on how to hit the baseball.
They don't miss it. They stay on it. They don't pull off it. They don't roll it. It's a very disciplined approach. I mean, I think back when Miguel Cabrera was at his best. He would hit breaking balls the other way. And that's hard to do. Many times you see the breaking ball, you jump at it, you try and pull it. But you'll see the good hitters, they always stay through it. Because you want backspin, or like that line drive, that side spin. When you get over top of them, they're going to probably get picked up. It's a ground ball out or a double play.
One and one to Xander Bogaerts, who singled and scored back in the first.
I tell you, when you come to Fenway Park, be ready for a long one and be ready to score a lot of runs.
Yeah,
you're never out of it. We had some wars where it's just back and forth, back and forth.
The 1-1. Oh, this is a rocket to left, and that ball's history. Man, did that get out of here quickly. Bogaerts, like he knew it was coming, on a tee for his 6th homer of the year.
They're hot. Just not where you want to be. Too good of hitters. See him bring that bat in. Just put the sweet spot of the bat right on. And 2 home runs this inning, and you'll see really both in the same spot of the plate. One to the lefty, one to the righty. And they make us pay.
388 feet for that home run from Bogaerts. 4 in the first, 3 so far in the second for Boston. Michael Fulmer started, lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs. Alex Lang came in. He got the final out of the first and the first out here in the second. And then he gave up 4 consecutive hits, including a couple of homers. 7-2 Boston.
Yeah, the first inning could have been avoided. Tigers didn't help themselves. 4 runs, 2 of them earned. But Boston swinging them. Little action on this, you can see right here. Some depth on that pitch. Getting pretty bushy there, isn't he?
That looks good on him, though. You know what that's like, the offseason. Here's the 1-2. On the ground to short. Could be 2. Willie Castro's turn is in time to get Marwin Gonzalez. Daniel Norris comes in, gets the job done, but Boston scores 3 offers all month long. This is way, way back in the day when Fenway Park first opened. Duffy's Cliff had a 10-foot incline in front of the left field wall there at Fenway from 1912 to 1933.
That looks like right field at Michigan State. Got the cliff there as well. Old College Field.
Yeah, not a huge fan of that.
You're not?
No.
Yeah, as an outfielder, you're not either.
Yeah, I bet you're not. Yeah. They have that because of the Cedar River. There
so when it floods, you mean?
Right. Miguel Cabrera, Jonathan Scope, and Nico Goodrum for Detroit here in the third.
Tigers got 2. Let's get 4 this inning.
Cabrera grounded to third his first time up.
Starting off, Miggy.
By grounding out to third in the first, Cabrera's in an 0 for 19 slide. Waits on the 0-2 from Pivetta. Popped up right side, but that'll reach the seats.
Mickey has struggled. It's been some time since he's the Mickey of old, but something just, you could just click. You just get in a little run. Could he turn it back on? Has really helped the Tigers.
The 0-2 outside.
Even though you're a vet, you're a great player like Miguel is, the game's cruel to us all at times. You got to overcome. Just wish he'd get that feel back.
The 1-2 fouled away.
Bat looks good there. He used to drive the ball to right center so much. Right there, you see him letting the ball get deep in case it was a breaking ball. Hang one to him.
In the dirt, 2-2.
Good take.
Two pitch, another one fouled away.
Yeah, don't mean to stick so much on Miggy, but somebody get hot, right? This gets contagious.
Cabrera's a .291 lifetime hitter in this ballpark. Another 2-2. And caught him looking. Speaking of ballparks that are unique, remember Tiger Stadium
The
had
pole.
a flagpole in the field of play.
You see where that home run went right there? Right over that wall? Carl Yastrzemski hit one up there when I was a little kid.
And then
center field.
And then you hit one.
Not center field. That was Chad Curtis bringing one in.
And remember that when Comerica Park first opened 21 years ago, that flagpole was in the center field.
He took it out. We were kidding. Put it right in the middle of the outfield. Every place you could have different positions, like a pin in the golf course, right?
Right.
So
like
you have to be cognizant of that.
Here's the one on a scope. Lifts it to right. Renfro won't be able to find it.
Unfortunately, you have the COVID rules at all these ballparks. Fenway Park, a lot of full houses.
Yeah.
Noisy.
Yeah, very loud.
A lot of
unruly fans.
Very honest in opinion.
Not afraid to share it. Off speed.
He said a couple
upside.
things about my mom a time or two. I said, "How'd you know my mom?" It's like Ernie Harwell, you know. He knew everybody catch the foul balls. That really makes you mad.
From which city they came. Yeah, here's the 2-1. Fought off and fouled away.
Good approach. Not rolling over it. They always are asking for balls in Fenway Park.
And then if you
give
give
me
them
a ball,
if you give them one, are they appreciative? Do they say thank you, or they?
I've had both. You know, they say thanks and they call you a name.
Scope strikes out. Second punch out of the inning, and fifth of the night for Nick Pivetta.
So John's trying to hit this ball, protect against the breaking ball. Fouled a couple off, doesn't get this one.
Two away for Nico Goodrum. He struck out his first time up.
Come on, Nico.
Goodrum just 3 for 40 in his career against Boston.
Now he likes the fastball down, nothing up.
Here's the 2-0.
Ooh.
Pivetta working quickly. The 2-1. Sent to left, but foul.
Let's take a look at Nico right here. It's a side swing. See, it got deep, but he did battle to stay on it.
Interesting
Ball
that
got on him.
His leg kick was not as high as it was in the clip that you showed from the left side earlier in the broadcast. Now the 2-2.
It's going to be a slider down that end, I think.
The payoff. Goodrum spoils it.
Fortunately, let's take a look. Now, this ball is a backdoor slider. Starts it on the outside part. Watch him bring his hands in to protect. That's pretty good located pitch. Nico did what he could to get a piece of it. Still alive. Another foul ball.
Awaiting the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Here it comes. And Pivetta strikes out the side. Tigers go 1-2-3 in the third. They're down 5 on a Tuesday night in Boston.
Don't take them lightly here from the Red Sox.
The 1-0 foul tip. That's Smarts. Wilson Ramos feeling that.
It'd be tough to be a catcher. That's a bruise. At least there's no bells getting rung there.
Always seems to find the area that isn't
Padded.
protected. Yeah.
Look it up there by the shoulder, especially the throwing shoulder. That one they'd like to have less there because they can throw better without being encumbered. But it leaves them exposed.
1-2 to Arroyo, who flew out to center back in the first. That's when Boston scored 4 of their 7 runs. Then they hit a couple of homers and scored 3 times in the second. The 1-2 inside.
Go after. You want to throw a good pitch, get something down low, get that ground ball, gobble it up.
The 2-2 swung on and foul tip. Ramos will have to throw him out at first.
Daniel Norris got good arm motion on these sliders. Look at this breaking ball. A lot of depth. You see that spin, how it's a good spin rate on that. You really can't pick it up till it's too late as a hitter.
Yeah, that one just hit the dirt. No foul tip there into the glove of Ramos. Hunter Renfroe stands in with one away, and he drives one to right center. It's up the gap, and a one hopper over the wall for a ground rule double for Hunter Renfroe.
He was looking right over the middle, and he got it. Good approach, right center field. That was a bullet. Playing the outfield here in Fenway. There's some big old lights. Right center field, left center field.
On the ground, a second for Willie Castro. He retires Bobby Dahlbeck. Renfroe moves up to third, but there are 2 away.
If those balls get in the lights, it's bright.
Top of the order for Kike Hernandez. Stop by Ramos. 1-0 to Hernandez.
Daniel's doing a pretty good job with his changing speeds and keeping the ball down and moving down and away. 2 elements of movement. Big out right here.
2-0. Brian Garcia warming up for the Tigers.
Burning through him quick. On our 3rd pitcher already, he would be the 4th.
Yeah, that's not easy to manage, knowing that you still have a couple of games here in Boston, and then you come home for the weekend series against Minnesota before the off day on Monday. You have to burn as many as A.J. Hinch may have to here in the series opener. It's really requiring Casey Mize and Spencer Turnbull to be sharp in the next 2 starts in this series.
But they look at the off day, so he wants everybody to throw.
And he walks Hernandez, his 2nd free pass of the night. Hey, the Tigers host the Royals May 11th through the 13th at Comerica Park. Tickets start at just $10. That's it, $10. Visit tigers.com/tickets today. Saw Kansas City not too long ago at Comerica Park. They swept a 4-game series. It's another good-looking lineup. Saw one in New York, seeing one right now in Boston. We'll see one in Minnesota, or against Minnesota, I should say. Kansas City still leading the division by 1 entering play tonight. Alex Verdugo hit a solo homer in the second. Safe on an error in the first. The home run was his 4th of the season.
Daniel steps off, didn't like the pitch, probably had called.
Now the 0-1. Low.
A lot more off-speed pitches from Daniel Norris. Used to throw a lot of fastballs. Tried to power it by everybody. Now he's starting to use the changing of speeds as a method to get the outs.
The 1-1 inside. Verdugo hit .308 in his first season in Boston a year ago. MLB Network had him ranked as the 88th best player in their top 100 in the offseason. The 2-1 fouls it away. Now that's not as high as Mookie Betts, who was ranked 2nd on that same list, but as part of the trade, Boston got Verdugo, solid player. Jeter Downs, a shortstop, who was ranked the Dodgers' 3rd best prospect. And Connor Wong, who can play a couple different spots, he was viewed as the Dodgers' 28th best prospect. Betts and Price in LA, and Betts the key figure on why the Dodgers were champions a year ago. Now the 2-2. Gets away from Ramos. Run coming home. No throw. Red Sox pad their lead to 6.
Yeah, it's just ball gets away from Wilson. Didn't get over in front of it. I don't know if he could. He yanked the breaking ball. You want to try and get that chest around it if you can. Took a tough skip. And that gives the Red Sox another run. Hunter Renfroe comes in to score.
3-2 to Verdugo. The 1-0 to J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss. Last full season of 2019, J.D. Martinez was an all-star for the 3rd time in his career. Now the 1-1. Good pitch.
Well, got on him quick. Let's take a look at J.D. Martinez. Extra base hits this season over the plate. He likes middle and middle in. See the Tigers, the reason they keep throwing him away. Try and sneak one in there, he'll get it.
Number 1 in the league in extra base hits. The 1-2. We laid off it. Slider.
Go right after him.
Back-to-back sliders there, Gaby, and Martinez just seems to recognize it so quickly.
Well, he's not going to let you get him out that way. He's done his scouting report. He's disciplined. He has great ability. The more pitches good hitters see, the more likelihood of them getting you. Now he missed his target there by 3 feet, did Brian Garcia. Trying to come in on him. Get it in there. But JD has a real good understanding of how his bat comes off his shoulder to the ball.
On base twice tonight, and he scored a couple of runs for Boston. Now the 3-2. They're going to check at second base and make sure Kike Hernandez didn't get a head start.
Want to really try and hold that runner at first as well, so they can't score on the long single.
Now the 3-2, and he rings him up at the bottom of the zone. JD Martinez doesn't like it. Brian Garcia loves it. But Boston scores one more in the third. Could have been worse if not for Brian Garcia painting.
Tell he's been struggling. Just does not look comfortable in the box. Timing is off. It's a bad feeling when you're in the box and your timing's off. You know what you're doing, you can't stop it. Boom!
Fouls it back to make it 2-2.
I bet you if he got 2 bunt hits, he'd feel like he was raking. That'd help him.
Haven't seen him try to do that though. It's in the dirt.
Yeah, well, I just know how he gets sawed off with the knuckles right here and gets a base hit. You feel like you hit a bullet. It makes you feel much better.
Yeah, just getting on base, right? Contributing. Do something for your club.
Yeah, this game, if you let it, it'll let you feel sorry for yourself. You got to get with it.
Oh, I bet. The payoff. And he tipped it into the glove of Christian Vasquez. That is 7 in a row retired by Nick Pivetta, and 8 punch-outs for him on this Tuesday night. Minor League Baseball is back tonight, and so are the Tigers' top prospects. How they fared in their season openers, we'll tell you next. See all the minor leagues back in action. Thanks, Mick. And of course, good to have Mickey York with us as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Xander Bogaerts, the number 4 hitter, then Christian Vasquez and Marwin Gonzalez to face Brian Garcia. Fulmer, Lang, Norris, and now Garcia. And it's been a nice night for Xander Bogaerts, who's extended his hitting streak to 4 games in a row. Fouls it away. When you talk of the game's best shortstops, immediately people gravitate toward Francisco Lindor, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa. But Xander Bogaerts probably doesn't get nearly enough credit. Trevor Story comes to mind. But Bogaerts leads all American League shortstops in hits and average. Extra base hits, pulls that one, foul. And this was his 6th homer of the year, and this got out of here in a hurry back in the 2nd.
Look at how quick those hands are. In fact, the foul ball he just hit, he just missed as well. Tigers got it in on him tight enough. Very quick, good recognition. He's got a little bit of an open stance. He starts out close. It's pretty even right there. You look at his feet. He's got good plate coverage.
Leads the league in hits. Here's the 0-2. On a line, and Robbie Grossman's got it.
This is a tough light ball by Grossman. It's right inside, but out to the sides where it belongs in case you don't get it, pick it up coming out of the lights, and it gets you where you don't want it. Did
you lose a few in the lights there in your playing
days? Oh, yeah. Left, center, right center, a ball. Just If that ball had a little loop in it, then that's definitely in the lights. These are bright bank of lights. Big.
Vasquez has had a nice night. 2 for 2 with a run scored and a run driven in.
Yeah, there's that bank right there. Get that camera to shine right in it. You get dizzy.
The 1-0. Line to right at Willie Castro. 2 outs for Brian Garcia here in the 4th.
Brian Garcia, knock on wood, pretty good. Get Brian Garcia through this minimal pitches, only 12 so far. And you're going to have to get another arm in there if you want to save Garcia for tomorrow.
Marwin Gonzalez had an RBI single in the 1st. That's when Boston scored 4 times. And then he bounced into a double play in the 2nd. Boston had already scored 3 times in that inning. And then they added 1 in the 3rd. The 1-0. In the dirt. Tigers got their 2 runs in the 2nd thanks to RBI singles from Victor Reyes and Robbie Grossman. George Lombard talking to Akil Baddoo. Baddoo not in the lineup tonight, but constantly learning.
Yeah, he's been struggling. Opponents have made some adjustments.
But that's the beauty of having that type of knowledge in your dugout, right? With George Lombard. George Lombard teaching Akil Baddoo so many different things, whether it be defensively or offensively. .3-0 to Gonzalez in their first strike.
Well, you got to know as a coach when's the right time to approach as you want to build a bridge, get to know each other, you have to trust. Then you have to implement. And once you get it, you'll feel it, and it's easy.
The 3-1 popped up left side. Jamer Candelario was there. And Brian Garcia retires the Red Sox 1-2-3 in the 4th. Victor Reyes, very good at bat last time. He leads Dan Petrie. The 84 world champ is with us. Victor Reyes down the left field line. That's a fair ball. And Reyes with his 2nd hit of the night. Peaches, welcome to the broadcast. How are you, my friend?
Well, that's a nice start. You know, it's just one of those things you like to see. Just Tigers not giving up, and they're just going to keep battling. Lots of time left.
Yeah, there is. Danny, we had many games that went back and forth in this stadium. Can you remember any of them?
I certainly do, and I heard you say that earlier in the broadcast, and I went, oh boy, do I remember those. You know, some of them just where you were so far down, and then all of a sudden a couple bloops and a blast, and you're right back in it. And the other way, hey, you're way ahead, and then here comes those mighty Red Sox offenses to come back and tie it and end up winning the game. But I do remember those.
What do you, the first inning, your starting pitcher, the first inning, we had some tough events there where Michael didn't, the double play, the error throwing to second base, really, how do you recover being a starting pitcher? Does that really affect you, or do you just move on?
Well, you have to move on, but, you know, I'd be lying if it said it didn't affect you. You know, I mean, it could have been a completely different inning. You know, and Michael Fulmer's done a really good job of getting the first hitter out in every inning, and he ended up walking the first hitter in Hernandez, and then he gets that ball back to him, and who knows if that's a double play. Now there's nobody on, and J.D. Martinez up, who ends up, you know, hitting the ground ball. But, I mean, it could have been completely different, and, you know, you have to somehow put it out of your mind, and, you know, unfortunately tonight Michael Fulmer just wasn't able to escape that first inning.
Nice slider down and in. Well over top of it. Probably guessing fastball. You get ahead in the count, you want to let it go. left himself exposed.
1-2 to
Battle.
Grossman.
Oh.
Drives one to right center field. That ball's hit well, and that ball is over the head of Hernandez. Reyes will hustle. They're going to wave him home. The throw home is not in time, and Victor Reyes with a head-first slide to make it 8-3 Boston. An RBI double from Robbie Grossman, and the first extra base hit by a lefty off Pivetta this year.
Out over the plate, Robbie Grossman just swung over a slider down and in. That's what I'm talking about, getting the ball in the middle of the plate that you can hammer. And right here, Hernandez kind of misplays it, but that's very tough in that corner right there. You don't know exactly where all those walls going different directions, where they lead you. And Victor Reyes, right, did you see that play? I'd like to see that at second base. It looked like he went back and he touched the base going on to home at second base.
Man in scoring position for Jeimer Candelario. Good night for Robbie Grossman tonight. He's been on base 3 times, and he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, Reyes, I agree with Gibby. I think Reyes held up there at second because off the bat it looked like, it was caught. It was hard to see if it was bouncing around in that corner out there. So I think it took a while for Victor Reyes to make sure that he didn't catch it, and then he hit the bag, hopefully, as Gibby's saying, and ended up scoring the run.
The 1-1 to Candelario. It's low.
Let's get another. Okay, let's take a look at Victor Reyes. He goes to second. He thinks he's going to catch it. Then you have to touch that base. Now, he touched on the first base side, then he had to touch and run it through. Now, you've seen players in some games in the past where they run over that bag. They lose their footwork and where they touch. But Victor did a good job on it. That's a tricky one. And he scores.
Candelario draws a walk.
Pick the stick points are flying all over the books.
Gibby, if you're in the dugout, are you now just saying, hey, let's get this guy out of the game right now? Don't give him a win. We can knock him out in this 5th inning. This is that one where the starter's starting to teeter. Hey, all I got to do is get through this inning. I get a win, and he might not make it out of here. The Tigers string a couple of hits.
that was one of the things that we would try and do, and it is good. Try and build off something. Get another hit, get him out of there, say a few things to him on the way off the field, don't you think, Danny?
Yeah.
Get him mad at you, and then it's game on.
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I've never said anything like that.
No, you weren't.
Go sit down! No, that's I got no problem with that at all.
So Baltimore, or I should say Boston, getting Austin Bryce warmed up a little bit, just in case.
Come on, Miguel.
Cabrera with an opportunity here with a couple of men aboard. Looks at one outside.
It's fastballs into Miggy and off speed away. He may throw a curveball off the body, but I would sit on something off speed and just hammer it if he leaves it up.
1-0.
Don't want that one.
Tough one, yeah.
Gibby, you've been talking about the approach of the Red Sox hitters, which I think you're dead on. That approach of up the middle and the other way that they've been doing so well. And it almost looks like the slider is starting to flatten out a little bit, and that would be a nice approach for Miggy right here to just take that flat slider and go the other way. It's a perfect opportunity for him.
Swing and a miss.
That wasn't a flat one.
But that one he tried to roll over, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't kind of shoot it the other way.
Yeah, if you saw, I mean, the
Yep.
Red Sox have done a good job on sliders. Yep, you say stay with it, hit it to right center.
The 1-2 fouled away.
You know, a lot of those balls, Danny, on the outside part of the plate, Miggy has fouled them off. Seems like he's kind of in between early in the count. He's in right now. You don't have a choice but to stay on that slider because it doesn't look like they're picking it up until late. If it's got depth, you're in trouble if you get too aggressive. Good take there. Now, what are you thinking as a pitcher here?
Well, I just think, you know, you're probably going away just based upon the swings that he's had before with that slider. You know, but is Miggy trying to, you know, kind of protect and get out there pretty quick for the fastball, and that's why he's susceptible to the slider.
And remember his last at bat, kind of the same thing, and then they finished him with the slider. But Miggy's waiting. This is good.
Yep.
He's just staying alive. Now, if he leaves it over to the middle, you get a little more aggressive on it. Because even if it's a slider, you can still stay on it. When it starts down, is away, you cannot do that.
And he was probably sitting slider on that one. That's why he was able to, at the last minute, just kind of get a piece of it.
2-2.
Ooh.
Yep.
He wants that one back. There's something's coming in here.
You know, with 95, you know, pitches on for Pivetta there, you know, that's the thing. That slider doesn't have that same quick break. It almost rolls in there. You know what I mean? It's just kind of rolling in there
Seen
instead of that good. Yep.
Another 2-2. This one is lined to third on the ground. Gonzalez to second, and the double play is turned for Boston.
That's a good at bat. That's a good pitch. He just hit it on the screws right to the third baseman. I mean, ideally you want to try and stay more. Miggy just got the head out, got it out there, saw it good, tailor made. Why couldn't that find a hole? Grossman over to third.
But 2 away for Jonathan Scope. Inside 1-0. Tigers do have 6 hits, fellas, and Pivetta had only given up 1 hit in each of his last 2 starts. 6 total in his previous 3 starts. This one fouled away.
Ramping it up a little bit. 96. Reached back for a little more there. He's probably thinking he's done after this inning.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan Scope, Gibby, has had, you know, several at bats tonight where he's looking like he's seeing the ball deep and trying to flip it the other way. He had a good at bat in the first inning where he there was a slider when he was behind in the count, and he fought it off just to get a piece of it. And it looks like he's trying to take that same approach.
The 100th pitch of his night. Here's the 1-2. Scope on the ground to third. Gonzalez handles it, throws it in the dirt, and a nice scoop by Dahlbeck. But the Tigers
3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
And for Boston, bottom third of their order here in the 5th, Christian Arroyo, Hunter Renfroe, and Bobby Dahlbeck. But first, to all side windows pitching change, Buck Farmer.
Go Buck.
Out of the bullpen. 11th appearance for Farmer this year. Ryan Garcia was solid, 17 pitches, got him through 1 1/3.
So Peaches, it's 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th. What's it like if you're in the bullpen? You know you're going to get an inning, and you know you're down by 5 runs. What's the mentality for these guys? What should it be when they come in?
Well, I think what it should be is just, you know, what Shep just said about the line on Brian Garcia. You know, you don't want to be, you know, in that kind of situation. I mean, you were the closer at the end of last year. You know, you want to work into getting those leveraged innings. The same with Buck Martinez or Buck Farmer. You know, he's in the same situation early in the game. He's used to be an 8th inning type of guy. It's like, I got to take advantage of this right here in a situation to show the manager, like, hey, I can be put and trusted in those late inning roles. So, I mean, you got to go out there and obviously you're going to take it very seriously, but you got to perform so you put yourself in some spots where you're used to being there.
Hey, Dana, in Fenway, you got the monster, of course, in left, and you got the pesky pole in right, short down each side. How intimidating, if at all, is that for pitchers? Do you try to do something a little extra?
You know what, Shep? I thought you had to almost pitch a little bit differently in Fenway, because you think about right-handed hitters. Okay, I don't want to throw them inside because all they have to do is just barely turn on it and it's going to go off the wall, so I'm going to pitch away. Well, I give up a lot of home runs to those empty seats out there in center field, to Jim Rice and Dwight Evans, Fisk, guys like that, who, because I was going away and they extended themselves out there. The same thing with left-handed hitters. You're saying, well, I got to pitch them in, and all they do is with the ball away is just play pepper, with the wall out there. So you have to say, wait a minute, my strength to left-handers is away. Well, I can't do that because Wade Boggs and guys like that just play pepper with it. So I got to pitch inside to those left-handers, try to get them to roll over. And then also those right-handers, keep them honest inside. Don't let them get out over there, and hit the ball off the wall or into those seats. So it's a little bit different than the way you would attack, say, at a Tiger Stadium or Comerica Park.
You weren't pitching when Wade Boggs got that inside the park homer, were you? Was that you?
I don't think so. He got plenty of doubles off the monster off me, but I don't think he got an inside the Parker off me.
Speaking of doubles, and now a home run crushed to deep left field by Hunter Renfroe. And his solid night continues. Boston with 3 bombs on the evening. It's now 9-3.
That looks like something off speed that he is fully extended on. Hanger, Smith mixer. See that circle right there?
Yeah, that's that, there's just that side spin just like that. There's no downward. And, if there is something that's bothering you and some kind of a pitch that you're not locating or is not working, that's what you should be doing out there, is working on that kind of, the pitch and getting it right. And that one just had that flat telling me that, hey, you got to stay on top of that one to get more of that downward spin and that downward angle and vertical break on that slider.
Yeah, we had a real good shot. We're going to take a look. Now look at this. You see like a little circle. You've heard people say, see the circle? That's like a Smith mixer delight. Not much break to it. And a hitter recognizes that. That's when you do see the spin. That's when you do get a good aggressive swing out. It was up in the zone, and that's what you want to try to avoid. Not as a hitter, but as a pitcher.
And so much is talked about the spin rate too, Gibby, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it would be interesting because I'm not sure that had a real high spin rate, kind of that, again, we talk about the rolling or cement mixer you use, it just kind of not real high RPMs spinning on that slider to really pull it down.
The Bucks throwing the ball good now, 95 up and in.
That'll make you mad. You give up a home run and hang one like that, and you're okay. Forget that. I'm going to just rear back and blow it by you.
Two to Dalbec.
I like that pitch.
Another one inside, yeah.
You got to get it in there. Just have to. Trying to saw them off. Get it in there, provide the saw. Hitters hate to break bats, especially if you got a good gamer.
Another 2-2. Check swing foul.
It looks like he's looking for a slider right now.
Yeah, it looks a little uncomfortable with that ball in there a little bit. You call it that emergency swing. It's kind of like, ooh, I don't like it in there. I'm just, going to almost real defensive on that.
If they keep in there, makes you leak a little bit.
Yeah, get that pitch out of there.
Gets that one on the corner, but he misses.
3-2. That's into center. Jones is there. That's the second out. Registration for Detroit Tigers summer baseball and softball camps for kids is now open. Camps are available to boys and girls ages 6 to 14 and run Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. To register, visit tigers.com/camps. 2 away for Buck Farmer here in the 5th.
You might want to wait till the weather warms up a little bit. After another week, I think we'll have it. Flowers will be safe. Did you get your flowers planted, Shep?
No.
You do them?
I don't have a green thumb.
Do you do them?
I do what I'm told.
So you do help plant them?
I do help plant them. I'm not a patient person when it comes to landscaping like that.
Gibby, that cold snap we had not too long ago killed off a lot of flowers.
No, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, Morgana, right?
Yeah. They asked me. I said, don't do it. It won't be good.
Knock her out too? Peaches, do you remember that?
I'm not sure. I remember Morgana.
They asked me. I said, do not do it. Yeah, trust me.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I think she came for Daryl Evans, and Daryl just went right over there and puckered up.
I'm looking at Lance. Lance just standing up there, just cool as a cucumber, looking out at you. You know.
Yeah, but he was protecting you. He's not.
We should just remind folks who don't know who she is. She was a kissing bandit. She'd run on the field and go up to a player of her choosing and give him a kiss.
She just didn't run. Let's just leave it at that.
I'm being fair here. Okay. Yeah.
It appeared. That was not her. That was a guy who was inebriated. He had some glassy eyes.
You wouldn't confuse the two. Nico Goodrum finds a hole and leads off the 6th with a base hit.
Boy, Nico. Like Dan was telling us, and we've been in this situation. This is never done in this park. Get guys on, we can pop them too.
Bryce in for Boston. He's allowed just 3 runs on the season, but all came in one outing.
Can't roll this over. Got to stay through it. Be disciplined. No double play.
Wilson Ramos stands in 1 for 2. A single and a run scored in the second. Tigers scored 2 runs in that second inning, and then 1 in the 5th.
But look at Bryce. I mean, he's got a nasty motion for a right-hander. Drops down, little Laredo. Got a little bit of velo too for that motion. Did you ever throw a side ever, Danny?
No, but you always think back to things that you probably should have done late in your career, and that's probably something that I probably should have came up with. I was just thinking about some of the nasty left-handers. You're talking about this on Wilson Ramos, but some of the I can only imagine guys that you had to face. Randy Johnson, for instance.
Yeah. He just crossed his body quite
a bit. Yeah.
He always gave you a little chin music. Got on you quick. But you had to force yourself to stay in there.
The 0-1 lifted to right field. Renfro's got it. That's the first out in the Tigers' half of the 6th. Dan, you finished your career in Boston in '91. What was it like pitching there on a more regular basis rather than just a visitor?
Yeah, and it was in September when I was there, so it was a beautiful time of year, and we were battling Toronto down the stretch and playing with a lot of really good Boston Red Sox player. That's, you know, with Boggs and Clemens and everything like that. So just being a part of, you know, that team and challenging at Fenway at that time of year was very special. But it was at the end of my career, and I didn't quite, you know, have too much left, I guess is the way to put it. But, you know, in those situations, you dig a little deeper, right, Gibby, and try to find just a little bit extra and help any way you can down the stretch. And we fell just a little bit short that year.
Some time in Atlanta and Boston that season in '91.
Yeah.
But that's when your arm really been at the elbow, you know what I mean? You do a lot of sliders in your career, and that arm kind of turned into more of an L, didn't it? I mean, did you ever have to have something to clean that out after you got done?
Well, I did it when I played. You know, I had arthroscopy to take bone chips out. But, you know, the guy that immediately is your brother-in-law, Dave Rosema, was very successful at dropping down and throwing, you know, a sidearm curveball, which you don't have to throw hard. I mean, you know, at that point, you know, you come up with different ways to get people out. I remember, you know, when I was pitching for Boston, the slower I could throw it to some of these hitters, the better, like George Brett and Ken Griffey Jr. and stuff like that. You know, they're not used to seeing it. So if I did, in fact, drop down on some right-handers and spin it, you know, on that little sidearm curve, you know, that anything to give the hitter a different look.
That hit Willie Castro.
Point. Now it's time to get a bomb. That's how you could get back in it. Breaking ball, clipped him. Good job of Willie turning away. Watch how he turns away. He sees it coming. You don't want to dive into this. You want to take it off the shoulder or the backside. One out.
2 men aboard.
Here's time for that cement mixer right here, Gibby. One of those ones where he drops down and gets that side spin because of his arm angle. He can't stay on top, so it's going to have that side spin to it and get it kind of spinning right over the middle inner part of the plate to Jacoby.
Jacoby Jones turns on one deep to left, and that's gone. A 3-run bomb for Jacoby Jones. Instant offense for the Tigers here in the 6th.
And a boy. That's what we're talking about. You never know. Get a couple guys on. Look at that. Right into Jacoby's wheelhouse. Been throwing him away all day. They try to get one in, and he just delivers. Just a reaction. That's a good sign, Danny.
Kept waiting. You know, I was saying, boy, get that spinner, but that was a fastball. But you see, there's no sink to it. But he's got that, and it was right, you know, into the groove of Jacoby Jones's bat right there, and he turned on it and right back in it. The Tigers are.
There you go, smiling. Loosen up, boys. Let's put a whooping. Let's beat on them.
Second home run of the season for Jones. Victor Reyes sprays it foul, 0-2 to him.
Tigers. Been a while, but let's don't stop here. Let's get hungry. Finish it out. We've been talking about the Fenway games, and here you go.
1-2 to Reyes, who had an RBI single in the second, singled in the 5th and scored.
Victor's much better hitter than a 151 hitter.
Like Jones, 1 home run until that Jones swing. Swing fouled away.
So Victor's not only can he hit, he can run. He gets around the base as well. Just has not caught his stride this year.
The 1-2. Another one spoiled.
Better at bats by all the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that late swing, Gibby, you've been talking about right there. Boy, it was a good example of the ball traveling, you know, and just a quick bat right at the end just to get that piece of it.
If you're in a 9-10 pitch at bat, Dan, I mean, what does a pitcher start thinking? You just say, I'm just going to keep throwing strikes, try and trick him? Where's your mindset go?
Well, I mean, you want to win the battle. I mean, that's the big thing, you know. You don't want to give in and just say, well, I'm going to just throw you one right down the middle and let's end this at bat either by a hit or, you know, or I'm going to get you out. No, you want to continue to make perfect pitches.
The 2-2 line to left, and that's up against the wall. Victor Reyes has a one-out double to keep the inning moving.
Keep the train rolling all night long, right? Victor with a good approach. They stay out on him. He stays disciplined. Down in the left field corner, Alex Verdugo can't get it.
That's a 3-for-3 night for Victor Reyes. His 10th career 3-hit game, and Alex Cora has seen enough. He went to the bullpen for Bryce. He's got to go back for Andres. Tigers getting closer in the 6th and through the Boston pen.
It's allowed one home run. Let's make it 2.
Detroit has 6 runs tonight. That's more than they've totaled in the last 5 combined. The last 5 games, they've scored a total of 5 runs. And hopefully they're not done yet as Robbie Grossman stands in, and what a night it's been for him. RBI double last time up. Also an RBI single, a walk and a stolen base. And he finds a hole on the right side. Reyes is going to try and score, and he will do so standing up. Another run driven in by Robbie Grossman. A 3-for-3 night, and the Tigers are within 2.
First pitch, swinging again. Great hanger. It's contagious.
It is. Robbie Grossman was laying off some of the breaking pitches and was hitting fastballs, and you know, he does a good job. First pitch right there on a breaking ball and jumped all over. Now the interesting part is we always talk about, hey, they want to make some things happen, you know, in trying to score without hitting a home run. I mean, even though they're down 2, do you think Grossman's going to run it all here?
I would encourage it if he felt it was right. We'd have to time him. Good eye by Candy. Again, you want to see something middle of the plate, just like Robbie did. Like you said, it was a slider up. Those you hit hard. You want something you get hard. You do not want to hit something weakly on the ground. If you see something that's an off-speed pitch, you swing over it. Do not adjust and try and make contact with it on a 1-0 count. That's interesting. You see what he's doing with his hand there in his glove, Danny?
Yeah, patting the ball in his glove. Yeah. I know that would be discouraged. That just is asking for a balk, really. You know, I mean, lots of things can happen when you're pounding the glove like that.
Now, if you said something to him, the umpires would probably say he does it every time.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
But then what if he only does it 3 times? He patted it 4 times last time. How are you supposed to know when he's done?
Well, he better come to that complete stop. I bet you would be counting that. Okay, he taps
One,
it
two,
three times
three,
for a
four.
fastball.
He went.
Taps it 4 times for a breaking ball. You know what I mean? I mean, does he get into a pattern
Well,
with
I'd
how
be
many he
looking.
taps?
That was 4 times and he pitched. That was 4 times and he picked.
I'm sure that they have looked at that, but that's one of the things I know that I'd be looking at is
4. They did an extra there.
On the move is Grossman. Another stolen bag, and he'll take third as well.
Great play. Tigers feeling good about themselves, staying aggressive.
Isn't that good to see? Isn't that good to see, Gibby? I mean, you know, even though they're down 2, I mean, put some pressure. A.J. Hinch has talked about that all spring and all year about trying to, you know, put pressure on the opposition, and the catchers, you know, for Boston are really not known to have the best pop times and everything like that. So, you know, be aggressive. Don't sit around and wait for something offensively to happen. Take it to them.
And he didn't, especially. Is that your guy, Grossman?
Well, it is. But,
Yeah.
but, I mean, just to get into scoring position.
Get him in.
Get him in.
The 2-1 to Candelario. Swing and a miss.
That's one of those pitches where you let it go and you don't want to adjust and just hit something weak off the bat. Changeup, 2-0 changeup. Miguel ready to do some damage as well. I think if you set off-speed pitch, you get another one here and the rest of this at bat. But the glove's kind of quiet there.
2-2 to Candelario, and he takes strike 3. He knew it.
Got caught looking there. And Dries, look at it. He taps once and then he quick pitches him right down the middle. Caught him off guard.
Yeah.
I thought there was only 1 strike as well. It's all right, Candy. Have Miggy pick you up. Let's go.
10 hits aside, and for Detroit, that 10-hit performance so far, snapping an 18-game streak with 9 or fewer. And a first pitch strike to Cabrera. 9-10-1 for Boston, 7-10-1 for the Tigers. 4 of those runs coming here in the 6th. Chance to get another. Understatement to say it's a big run there.
Hang one in the middle in here. Miggy's going to hit it out.
Needs 1 to tie Babe Ruth for number
Middle
45 all time on the career hits list. Up high, 1-1.
Gotta believe he's going to throw another slider.
How great would it be to do it in Boston, where Ruth began his career? Couldn't do it in New York, where he made the biggest name for himself. Maybe doing it here in Boston. Here's the 1-1.
Oh.
Little flare down the right field line, foul.
That ball it hit me, but he actually did break a little further than thought it was going to. Into battle mode.
Harold Castro staying in it.
Keep those hands loose.
Now the 1-2. Outside 2-2 to Miguel Cabrera.
Miggy does, he just looks like he's calmer to me tonight. Seems like he's picking the ball up better. In position to hammer a mistake.
Now the 2-2. Rounded foul.
You ever get in there, Gibby, and just like feel like the pitcher doesn't have anything to get you out with? Like, you know, I'm going to have to get myself out because he doesn't have anything to get me out. It just looks like Miguel's kind of feeling confident, like I'm going to have to get myself out. He looks like he's on every single pitch, whether it be away from him, in on him.
I don't think he's really waiting late. I really think that he's feeling much better, and it's a big hit would kind of move him to the next step and getting it back.
It's just one of those bats where you just sit there and go, something hard's coming off this bat. I mean, you know, we just hope it's not going at anybody, but it just have one of those feelings.
Coming in.
The 2-2. Another one spoiled. What makes you guys say he's on every pitch when you have swings like that, fouling it away that side?
Well, I'll tell you why, because he's letting it travel more, like we always talk about, so he's seeing it longer. He's staying back longer. A lot of times when you're struggling, you tend to drift towards the ball. So he's seen sliders. He hasn't seen a changeup, but I haven't seen him throw into a righty. That would be a tough pitch, but he could hang that as well. Coming in.
The 2-2. Another one, same side.
He's seen pitches on both halves of the plate too. You know, everything's been down, nothing's been elevated, but you know, he's seen a couple of pitches on the inner part of the plate. The majority of them out over the plate, but still, it's just, but still he's been on those pitches, you know, and you know, I mean, you know, I haven't seen a necessarily uncomfortable swing.
No, he's shortened way up. I mean, he's shortened the swing way up. He's just putting the bat on the ball. If he hangs one, he sees it good, like one of those mixer ones we showed earlier. If he sees that little dot on the end, that's what I want to see. We'll have the lead. Tied.
3-2 now to Cabrera. It's one of those really good at-bats.
Yeah.
Saw 7 pitches in his last at-bat. Now 28 pitches on the night. 9 in this plate appearance.
Struck out into the third. They threw him a slider.
You know, I know that pitch wasn't close, Gibby, but I mean, you know, he didn't even react to that. It was like he saw it right out of his hand the whole way and just recognized it like that's not even going to be close. I mean, didn't even really flinch at the ball.
Here's the payoff. A.J. Inch really piecing this one together. J.D. Martinez stands in against Tyler Alexander and muscles one to left. That was off the handle, but he's just too strong. He picks up a base hit.
Just be happy they kept him in the park.
Yeah, especially after what you just showed. Alexander is part of a wall side windows pitching change.
Four walks, 13 strikeouts. Tyler's pretty good with his location. He gets it in when they ask for it in. Doesn't have lively velocity like some do, but he's very good at executing his pitches, setting up the hitters.
Here's Xander Bogaerts, one of the 3 homers for Boston here tonight.
Watch him.
And a first pitch strike from Alexander. Bogaerts, Verdugo, and Renfroe with the home runs for the Red Sox.
Just get a double play here. Bogaerts runs good. If it's right to the 6-4-3.
Jacoby Jones has a 3-run shot for the Tigers.
Jacoby just reacted to that pitch on the inside part of the plate.
The 1-1. Missed away.
Gotta hold him here. Tigers within 2.
The 2-1. Fouled away. Martinez and Jonathan Scope had a pretty long discussion over there at first base.
Well, I'm noticing
you
that.
never struck me as the kind of guy who strikes up a conversation with a first baseman when you were on.
Sometimes I might say, go tell him if he keeps throwing over here, I'm going to steal, or I'd say, just tell your shortstop to just hold the ball. We used to try and get down there and break that double play up, of course. Put just a little thought in their mind to distract them. That was a long time ago, and it was discouraged by your veteran leaders.
The 2-2 to Bogaerts, and he struck him out.
Good location, kind of up on the corner above the bat.
One more to close the inning for Tyler Alexander. He faces Christian Vasquez. RBI single in the first, a single in the second, and then a line out to Willie Castro at second last time up. Vasquez was a 9th round draft pick in 2011. We talk a lot about Tarek Skubal being a 9th round draft pick. Vasquez the same and successful. Now the 0-1.
That was very close.
Alexander, the 6th pitcher used by the Tigers here tonight. The 1-1 fouled away. Fulmer started, then Alex Lang, Daniel Norris, Brian Garcia, Buck Farmer, and this 6th inning belongs to Tyler Alexander.
Yeah, he may choose to go length with Tyler Alexander as long as he's behind. Then you're going to see Cisnero and Soto.
Tigers bullpen is quiet as we speak.
So they have Holland, Soto, Cisnero ready to go. Should they tie it up, you're going to see Cisnero and Soto.
The 1-2. Another one fouled away. A.J. Hinch told us it would be a bullpen day. I'm sure Boston didn't feel like they would have to go as deep as they've had.
Yeah,
to
that's
so
big.
far.
You know, even if the Tigers don't win this game, they made Boston dig into their pen as well.
And they may have to dig deeper.
That's the wish.
Another 1-2. This one is up high.
Looks like they made those dugouts a little bit bigger. Very small.
2-2 to Vasquez outside.
Got it. Execute that pitch. Come on now. You say 2-2 or 3-2?
3-2. The payoff from Alexander. That's a fair ball into the left field corner.
Right there. Get it in.
They're
Get it
going
in.
to wave home J.D. Martinez. And the relay is not in time. An RBI double for Christian Vasquez.
I think that was Willie Castro that grabbed it. It looked like he knew he was scoring. This is a tough play. You're hoping it hits that spot to jet out. Tough play. Robbie gets over. JD all the way. Was running on the pinch too.
Now 10-7 Boston. It's a tough break considering Alexander was ahead in the count 1-2. Marwin Gonzalez torques one to center. Jacoby Jones on the warning track has it. Red Sox get a run in the 6th. Traded from the Yankees to the Red Sox in January. It was the first trade between the division rivals in 7 years. Kelly Johnson for Stephen Drew on July of 2014 was the last time the Yankees and Red Sox worked a trade before Ottavino went from the Bronx to Fenway.
Ex-teammates Drew and Johnson in Arizona. For AJ and myself, I believe. It doesn't go without saying that Boston and New York aren't trading too many pieces back and forth to help anybody, are they?
Don't think you want to do that very often, no.
Let's go back to that approach. Ottavino's lots of sliders. You got to know it. Bessie to the righties.
Goodrum singled and scored his last time up. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2 to Nico Goodrum.
He can throw some pitches. You'll see him again in the series probably. You need guys on base. One run only gets you to within 10-8.
Inside, he's worked it full.
This is Ottavino. He's hit 96 now. Jeez. We faced him in Colorado many years ago. He wasn't throwing that hard. These guys get stronger and stronger.
The payoff to Goodrum. And he takes a walk.
Boy, Nico.
Don't miss a minute of the action. The Tigers facing the Indians May 24th through the 27th at Comerica Park. Tickets start at just $10. Visit tigers.com/tickets for more.
Tigers are due to get home for a while. They've had some serious road trips. We had a 3-city out west through Houston, Oakland, and home. Got this trip right here, and it's time to get some home cooking.
Yeah, this is a 9-gamer. That started in Chicago, then to New York, and now this is the first of 3 in Boston. Tigers will then come home and play the Twins for 3, Kansas City for 3, and the Cubs for 3. For the road to Seattle.
Tigers freshen up. Boston is very conscious of the Tigers trying to get another run on a steal here. You see some sliders.
There he goes, and he's in there. A chance to advance to third. And a pop-up slide gets him safely into third base.
Now look at this. Is 2 times I'm noticing that the Tigers have gone down into second base where Boston has not stayed in there. Vasquez's throws are up the line, hard slide. Nico's up and going.
You can hear Chip Hale, get down, get down, get down.
I heard some stuff. You see Nico push him off?
Yeah.
Umpire said, Brian O'Nora said something to him. Again, you got to know he's going to throw that slider. Now you got a guy in scoring position on third base. 1 out.
Yeah, the Tigers have been noticing something about Vasquez in the middle of that Boston infield. 3 stolen bases tonight. Here's the 2-1 to Ramos, in there for strike 2.
Loves the slider. High percentage of sliders in this situation. However, you get 2 strikes, you got to guard against both.
The 2-2. Swing, miss. And Ramos goes down on strikes.
The front shoulder flew out of there, didn't wait quite right into the mitt. Pick him up, Willie.
2 outs for Willie Castro.
Pick him up.
These are the runs that are so crucial when you're trying to stage comebacks. Guy at third base, you kind of manufacture it, if you will. Can't get him home with 1 away. Let's see if Willie Castro can come up with a key single here.
4 sliders in a row. Oh, they run the bases well.
Are you running Reyes here, Gibby?
Not with the lefty. I mean, I don't know if they've got his move or not. Again, I watched that left foot, the toe, it comes up.
Now the
Slide
payoff.
step.
And he walked him.
Definitely rushed that. You don't think they would want to keep him close?
That's the first time in Robbie Grossman's career that he has reached base 5 times in a game. 2 walks, 2 singles, and a double for Grossman tonight.
Brings up Candy.
All right, Gibby, you got a couple of guys who can run. Reyes and Grossman. Are you even contemplating a possible double steal at some point, considering Detroit's mindset all night long and running on Vasquez?
If Hernandez continues to pay attention and look at you, I would make him think I was going. You can't get thrown out. You got the tying run at the plate. Now, if he lifts high and he ignores you and it's a gimme, of course. But I want to see Candy get a hold of one right here and tie this up.
0 for 3 tonight with a walk for Jeimer Candelario. That's low, 1-0.
He loves to spin it with guys on base. Sit on that little slider up in the zone. If it's a fastball, just let it go. Hang it.
Laid off that one, 2-0.
Most of his fastballs have been high. Just looking middle right here for cement mixer.
Candelario 2 homers on the year, both from the left side, though. Groove one, 2-0. In the dirt, it bounces away. Both runners advance.
Sitting on the off speed, not swinging at that junk. Poor block. Tigers get rewarded. Got to get these 2 in for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Turn him loose, 3-0.
Absolutely. You got to keyhole it, as Simo knows. It's got to be right on the batting tee.
Let's see what he gets. Here's the 3-0.
Oh!
That was there.
You know you're getting the heater there. Who's that juicy? Need a napkin after that. It was so juicy, you know? It's like eating a burger. It's got juice coming. Oh, is that sweet?
You need a bib. The 3-1. And he chased out of the zone. It's full. It's ball 4 right there. Has another pitch here against Hernandez. The 3-2. And he walked him.
Yeah, the way Candy, I like it. See him shaking his head.
Bases are loaded for Miguel Cabrera. Alex Cora doesn't like the matchup. He goes back to his bullpen.
Nasty, they're going for it.
Good looking numbers for Barnes, who is the American League reliever of the month. And he faces Miguel Cabrera with the bases loaded and only one away.
Curveball's unhittable.
That's a fastball dotted at 96. It's 0-1. On the ground to second.
But a lively arm, and he's come a long way. And generally, the setup for Greg Soto.
His 13th appearance of the season, and he'll face Hernandez, Verdugo, and Martinez here in the 8th. What many people thought might have been a rout early on, 8-2 after 3 in favor of Boston, has turned into a very interesting, and if you're a Red Sox fan, maybe nervous game. Detroit with 10 hits, 7 runs. They scored 4 in the 6th, highlighted by Jacoby Jones's 3-run homer.
And the Tigers showed some grit so far. And they've made some good adjustments at the plate, but still a little bit more to go.
Hernandez turns on one, sends it to deep left field, and another home run for Boston. His 4th of the season, the 4th by a Red Sox player tonight, and it's now 11-7 Red Sox.
These guys don't take fastballs down the middle lightly. They pound. How many home runs is that? 4?
4.
Yeah. That hurts. Got to keep pushing, picking yourself up. They brought their closer in, Matt Barnes, to get Miguel to ground into a double play. Smart play by the Red Sox. Will they keep him in for if they got 4 runs, though?
Hernandez, Verdugo, Bogarts, and Renfroe with the home runs for Boston tonight. Verdugo has just the 1 hit, but he's been on base 3 times. Safe on an error in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. That home run Hernandez just hit is the longest of the night for Boston. It traveled 399 feet. This one over the glove of Nico Goodwin and into center for a base hit for Verdugo.
Boston woken up by that double play. They feeling good. Didn't get much grip out of that. Verdugo's got a good compact swing.
Yeah, he does. That kid can play right there.
Yep.
Sure can. Good piece to get back in that trade with the Dodgers. Still nobody out, and here's J.D. Martinez. Busy night for the former Tiger J.D. Martinez. Scored 3 runs and has a couple of hits. Wilson Ramos wants to talk with Jose Cisneros first.
You get him settled in.
Ramos might have recognized something you're giving.
Lister.
Oh, it's Ramos's,
got his thumb.
Yeah, left thumb. His catching thumb.
Cisneros throws a heavy ball.
Looks like he's all right.
Either that or he's going to try it.
It looks like he has some type of thumb guard on there.
This isn't the first time. See, it hits him right in the thumb there. He's taken a couple of those. Many catchers have those guards. It stops your thumb when you hit it from bending back.
One and 0 to JD Martinez. Here we go. Missed outside, 2-0. Earlier tonight when Daniel Norris was throwing, that went off the glove and off the right calf as well. Not sure if that might have bothered that catching thumb. 2-0. Fly ball to center. Almost misjudged
Knuckler
by Jacoby Jones.
That was a knuckleball. Lights generally aren't a problem in center straight away.
Looked like it moved on him a little bit.
Yeah, that looked like a knuckleball to me. JD, get behind in the count of these Red Sox. Don't throw them too many fastballs. They tee off.
That gaudy 355 average for Bogaerts. Leads all American League shortstops in average and hits. OPS, which is on base plus slugging. On base percentage and extra base knocks. Got the home run tonight. And he singled and scored in the first as well. Phillips Valdez starting to get loose in the Boston pen. Boston has already used 4 relievers. 0-1 to Bogaerts. Popped it foul.
His bat really comes through the zone nice. You see with that front arm, he really leads to it. Does not pull off the ball.
All-Star in 2019, was a Silver Slugger there. That's the year he signed his 7-year, $132 million extension with Boston. The 1-1. Bogaerts was actually discovered at age 16 in Aruba. Signed in 2010, the 5th ever player to play in the majors from Aruba. The 1-2. A tapper. Ramos has got to hurry. Goes off balance and he gets Bogaerts by a step and a half. Good play by Wilson Ramos to throw him out at first.
He turned quickly. Then he realized he didn't have much time, and Cisneros was not going to get that. Look at Bogaerts out quickly. And on the third to cover. Got a good grip on that. 2 down. Where the Tigers come back and put it to him.
2 away for Christian Vasquez. Vasquez has himself a 3-hit night. RBI single in the first, singled in the second, and an RBI double in the sixth. Low to him, 1-0. For Boston started with a Hernandez solo homer. Verdugo singled, but Cisnero got Martinez and Bogarts. Trying to get out of it here. At the bottom of the zone, good pitch, 1-1. In the ninth, Detroit will have Scope, Goodrum, and Ramos due up. Here's the 1-1. Fouls it back. Registration for Detroit Tigers summer baseball and softball camps for kids is now open. Camps are available to boys and girls ages 6 to 14 and run Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. To register, visit tigers.com/camps today. There's the 1-2. And he rings him up.
Take
the
it.
Bottom of the zone. Vasquez doesn't like it. Cisnero will take it. And here
so far by Barnes. He's got a very good curveball. Tigers hopefully will take a strike. Get as many innings, pitches out of it. Well, that's a quick pitch there. See that?
I did. 2-1 to Nico Goodrum. Barnes played his college ball at UConn. He's a first-team All-American there. 2-time All-Big East selection. The 2-1. Good pitch. 2-2. Also played some Cape Cod League at Wareham. And was Boston's first-round pick in 2011. 19th overall.
10 years later, here he is.
In the dirt.
First hook. Find a way, boys. Got to get 2 guys, 3 guys on, get the bases loaded. For Willie Castro, the granny.
Here's the 3-2. And it's popped up right side. Dalbeck in foul territory, 1 out.
Tigers caught some energy after getting down, Shep, early in the game. Really started in the first inning when Michael Fulmer did not handle a double play ball.
That was off the bat of J.D. Martinez, or was that off? That was Alex Verdugo, rather.
Yeah, that was Verdugo, right? The next batter would have been 2 down with J.D. Martinez up. The Red Sox end up getting 4. And a couple missed opportunities with runners on base late last inning. A double play by Miggy ended that. And also in the 6th, they had some action. But here they are, down to their last outs.
Big night for Robbie Grossman. First time he's ever been on base 5 times in a game. Nico Goodrum goes down on 3 pitches, and there's 2 away.
That bat right underneath.
Leaves it up to Wilson Ramos. Casey Mize will get the start tomorrow in game 2 against Martin Perez and Spencer Turnbull. Series wrap up. Ramos looks at strike 1. Barnes has come in throwing nothing but strike.
Low in the zone, kind of different. Right at the bottom of the zone. Looks like he's got a little late action on it.
Something we saw from the Yankees pitchers in that 3-game series. Gave you all low in the zone. Ramos grounds it foul. 0-2. Stayed alive.
Curveball, you see it well out front. Gets a piece. That's all you can hope for right now.
Another 0-2. Didn't
do
go
it.
far enough. 1-2.
2 breaking balls in a row. Kept that bat head back. Didn't offer beyond the plane that they say you can't break. Miguel's had a tough night tonight. Bounce back when you get the next chance.
The 1-2. Fly